All right, this is a test run.
Okay, classic. How do you do your intro?
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I got
I'm your guest.
it. Oh, you got jokes, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna get quiet. How do you do your intro? Hold on, I got a little lispy up here.
You made me forget.
Okay. All right, Dad, go for it.
Okay.
Jay, I'm the wrong person to put on camera. Okay, good. I'm gonna be
Are you
good.
okay?
I'm gonna be good.
Good gracious. Okay, this is old.
I'm glad you can edit.
I'm sorry, guys, but this is old school Will. I'm trying to have a discussion here with my daughter, but as you see, she has giggles for some unknown reason. But I forgot what we are going to talk about.
Relationships
Oh
and
yeah,
what's
you.
going on with dating. Not relationships because we don't have those, but dating at our ages. I think.
I think you're a lot younger than I am.
Well, that's how it has to work for me to
Yeah,
be your kid.
yeah,
So
yeah. I know,
um,
right? You got a point there. Yeah,
yeah.
that'll work. But as I said, this is only a test run. See how things turn out. But this is old school Will. I know I hadn't been on the air for quite a while, but trying to get back in the saddle and do things the right way. So we'll see how this turns out. Okay. Well, guys, it's old Will again. Welcome you back to Old School Discussions with Will. Today we have a special guest, my daughter, Jennifer, and she came over and she had a few things she wanted to discuss with me.
Mm.
So we decided that we'd go ahead and share. So, Jen, what did you have?
Dating.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Since you cut out of the whole dating world and you refuse to jump back in to sacrifice
Oh,
a
this is a
moment of
setup.
your peace, yeah, I have questions because now as I'm getting older, I'll be 48 this year, single. I think about cutting out of the dating scene and resigning myself to forever alone as well. But there's still the heartstrings that are like, no, you want a partner, you want that togetherness, you want someone to grow old with. I think I'm in the dating pool of men who are kind of on the fence and envious of kind of the life that you live, having built up, kind of you have your own sanctuary here. You've got everything you want, and you have, not that women are headaches, but no headache, no partner, no spouse with any demands or any needs. The only needs that have to be met are yours.
Well, let me stop you right there because that was one thing I had on my blog also when I stated that peace of mind is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I definitely learned about because things were very hectic in my life. But let's get back to you.
But okay, just touching on that. Can't you have peace of mind with a partner if you find the right partner?
I don't think so because you have to understand that when you're dating or when you're with a person, not only are you trying to satisfy and please yourself, but you're trying to satisfy and please that other person as well. And a lot of times that's not going to go too well because that person has their thoughts and their desires and the way they want to do things, and so do you. So that 9 times out of 10 is going to cause a conflict unless you're able to sit down and talk about it without yelling and screaming and all
Right,
this
and
other
make those
nonsense.
sacrifices together. So if you find the right partner, then it's not yelling and argumentative. It's two people sacrificing for the good of the whole of the union that they created because they both want that peace.
But when you say that's temporary, it's like love is temporary. At first, I always use the analogy. Uh, it's like buying a new car. You fall in love with that car. It's shiny, it's clean, it smells good, and all of that. But throughout time, as time passes on, it starts deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, relationships to me are about the same way.
So you're not willing to put in the investment to keep for the upkeep. You don't feel at this stage in your life that you want to do the upkeep anymore.
No,
You don't
because
want to.
I don't think so. Because right now I have total peace of mind. I don't have to deal with the nonsense. I see a lot of people. It's almost like they don't have their own individual brain. They follow other people. They may follow their friends or take the advice of their families or this nonsense you see on Instagram and TikTok and even here, YouTube. Let's be honest. And they follow so many people, the wrong people, all these celebrities who all they're out to do is just make money off of them. And all of this is not right to me.
Right. Social media and all that aside, you don't get lonely, or you don't, not lonely. Do you feel alone at times? Do you wish you had that companionship?
Well,
As I'm looking at, okay, I don't feel like I was designed or built to be by myself. As excruciatingly slow and tedious as dating is, because I'm not good at it. I'm not. I was used to being married, and I not that I wish I had stayed in either of those marriages. They weren't where I was supposed to be. But the simplicity of and the ease of having that partnership versus you're the only person doing it, so it's got to get done. That over hyper sense of independent that you don't want to be. It's just where you're at, and you're doing what you're supposed to, like any person would when you're by yourself. But making that choice of, do I continue dating and trying and stay out there, or is it really that peaceful and that easy to say I can just be by myself and not feel lonely and not want that companionship?
I feel that's going to be an individual decision that person's going to have to make on their own.
So why'd you make it?
I got tired. I got frustrated. I didn't really see any value I really don't see any value in what I'm seeing today in today's market, because when I came up, things were completely different. You didn't have social media and you didn't have all this nonsense that you have now. You didn't have women acting the way they are. You didn't have this feminist movement. You didn't have none of this nonsense. It's almost like the days of marriage are going to soon be long gone. No one wants to cooperate, and no one wants to listen to the other person. Big Mama, my mother used to always say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. A lot of women have forgotten that. It's not the fact of, a man wants to shackle a woman down or use her as a slave or nonsense like that. Marriage and relationships are supposed to be a partnership, not a...
But there are still women out here like myself that do those things, that want to do. Like the person I've been dating didn't even think that I cooked. And I'm like, well, you haven't been to my house but twice. And then it was, well, when you come over here, you could bring. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I could bring you stuff so you could taste, how my cooking is. And was surprised that I cook. Well, of course I cooked. I, was married for a decade. How could I not cook? I've got, 3 kids. I got a 27-year-old. Yes, I cook. Some of us still want to bring those things.
Your kids my grandkids are grown.
Right, except for Elijah.
Except for Elijah. So they're grown, have their own families, each one of them. And I do have a great grandson, by the way, folks. Yeah.
I'm a grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some of us are still, I remember you saying that you weren't finding women that kind of still had the old school values and the old school traditions. And there are still some of us that are like that. And we're getting lost in the shuffle amongst the overpopularity points of the social media types, the show you're behind types, the I got to be raunchy so I can be seen types. Let me, put on this dress and here's a video of me doing nothing else but walking in a dress to show you it's tight. And I could do those same things. I choose not to, because that's not the kind of attention that I want. I could do it on my lonely days when I need an ego boost to remind myself, okay, the world thinks I'm cute, but I choose not to, because that's not who I am.
Do you realize that would just about kill Dad, though, if he saw that? They really would.
You shouldn't be looking at my social media like that.
No.
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about my 45th birthday boudoir shoot, because I'm sure you saw that.
No, I wasn't really looking for it. So sometimes what you don't find is better off for you.
Oh, it's out there. Pictures bright as day. Should I give them my handle so they can go
when you get home, start deleting that stuff before
there's only one, and it was my 45th birthday, and it was at the end of the toxic relationship that I was in for a long time, where we both got really petty at the end, where I wanted to shank somebody every day. And
can't do that, not legally.
Well, anyway. Because for so long I was told or directed in what I could or couldn't wear. I was referenced about my weight and whatnot. By the time I turned 45, there's a lot of things, in relationships when they're not going so well that you don't share with your parents. So by the time I turned 45, I was looking pretty good. And I was like, you know what? I'm putting it on display in a book in my own house. I'm going to do a boudoir shoot.
Let me ask you this. You said you put it on display. If you had a boyfriend or fiance or husband, do you realize what kind of repercussion that causes for him? Because if you're out there portraying or showing everything that really you're not supposed to in public, but at home, then that's putting him in a bind where if something happens, he has to take action.
The moment I get into a relationship, if my partner that I'm in a relationship with is like, Jan, I know that's 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, but you still have it up. I don't want it up. It comes down. There's no discussion. There's no...
But see, not all women think like that.
Absolutely.
They're out there for the clicks and the likes and all of this other nonsense.
I could keep pushing. Like I said, I did the shoot. I have a book at my house. I still haven't even unwrapped the book that I paid $2,500 for to have made because I emotionally have not gotten to the point of being able to open that book and look at those pictures of myself. But I went through with the shoot. I did it. And I did a little reel, because that's the one thing I could see in real time. For most of my friends on my Facebook page are actually people that know me, high school friends and whatnot. And I was like, girls, look at me at 45. Because girls, we love to cheer each other on, So I got my ego boost from my actual real life friends saying stuff. So I left it up there. But if I were in a relationship and that person was like, I know what it was, I know it's old. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want the world thinking that this is all you're out there with. You have other stuff that people obviously engage with. That needs to come. It's not a question. The same way I was able to live in a relationship where I couldn't wear tights in public. I couldn't wear this, that, or the other. It wasn't I'm being controlled by. No, I'm going to respect my person and my partner and their wishes and their desires and what makes them uncomfortable, as I would want them to respect what would make me uncomfortable.
But do you think that could possibly affect your job status if you went out seeking a new job and your employer just so happened to be on TikTok or whatever and saw you doing all of that nonsense?
I would hope. I recently switched jobs, and I'm pretty sure they did see it, that the title 45th birthday would make anybody say, okay, we understand the reasoning behind doing it. And if you scroll my social media, there's nothing else. It's obviously selfie pictures, because there was that phase where we all went through that. But it's not Jen body shots. There's not a whole bunch there's not bikini pictures. It's not, me. It's obvious that that's not what I try to portray within myself on what I do share on social media. And I'm not really active on social media anymore. So this is 3 years past. But,
right.
But if it needed to come down, I don't have a problem taking it down.
Right.
But because I'm not really active on social media, I thought about dabbling back into it. I just haven't.
What do you feel about the modern women and the feminist movement? This is from my daughter's perspective, folks.
Yeah.
And
we were supposed to be talking about you in relationships.
No, yeah, and it's amazing how you kind of flip that. It's amazing how you flip that around and start asking me pertinent questions.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to figure out this whole dating thing because I really like the person that I've been dating.
But that's a two-way street. It has to work both ways for it to actually work.
Cautious, and when you're trying, when you go through the whole healing process and you've learned some things and you've done some therapy and they're doing therapy and you're both learning things and this person's like, hey, I need to not do what I used to do. I need to slow things down. I need to actually take an active look at what I'm doing and not just jump like I used to. And you want to be respectful of that because, your therapist has told you too, hey, Speedy, slow down.
Right.
So you're cautious of that. But at what point is it when you feel yourself start to get emotionally invested and emotionally involved? And this is someone you're just dating. You're not in a relationship with them. So I can't be mad if this person is talking to other people, liking other pictures, commenting on other women. We're not exclusive. I could be doing the same thing. I choose not to. And it's my own fault because I date exclusively when I should be dating evidently plethoras from what I'm seeing on social media. I'm not capable of doing that.
But all that shows that both of you are not on equal keel right now because you're maybe 1 or 2 levels higher than what he is. You're thinking one way and he's thinking the other way. Until you get on that even keel, that's when things start working out. When you start, and one thing I should have mentioned at the beginning, a lot of relationships failed, and I can remember all of mine. They failed because of one key element. It's called respect.
Amen.
And there, from what I'm seeing nowadays, not all, but majority of relationships I'm seeing, especially on TikTok and all these social media sites, they're doomed because there's no respect. Look how each person talks to each other. Look at all the profanity that's used. Look at all the, it's just so much negative stuff that's going on. I very seldom see anything positive.
Yeah, I like finding the loving relationship. Well, most of my algorithm is either God and how to better yourself, or therapist talk, or
Right,
good healthy relationship.
right,
You know, the more of what you watch is what it feeds you. So
right.
that's what I tend
And we're
to steer
not,
towards.
and we don't learn from that because social media is portraying all the wrong things.
Hmm.
People, we're listening to anybody and everybody
Hmm.
who has a platform who wants to get out there and say anything.
Hmm.
You're listening to the wrong people. That's why your relationships are not working. You listen to your friends. How can you listen to a friend who doesn't have a boyfriend themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you listen
Well,
to a
wait,
friend?
I'm here asking you for relationship advice, Dad, so I
Oh,
can get into one. You
oh,
know,
you got jokes, right?
I'm looking at, well, because you're a single guy, so obviously I'm dating a single guy, and as we get older, I'm like, okay, let me ask my dad as a single guy, am I doing this wrong? Because, you know, like I said, it feels like an emotional roller coaster sometimes. Sometimes I know I'm my own worst enemy, but as I'm trying to control my emotions, because it's not a relationship, we're just dating, it feels like, you know, that person can feel your emotional ups and downs, and they're like, oh, you know, you kind of feel emotionally iffy. Well, yeah, because I feel myself getting close to you, but then I remember to pull away because we're not exclusive, and I don't want to get attached, and you're not attached to me. So it feels like a struggle.
But do you see what we're doing? Just like when you and I really became 100%. First thing I said is I don't want to argue,
Hmm.
and it was peace all the way through because we didn't argue. We actually sat and we listened to what each other had to say.
Hmm.
And and if you argue with each other, how are you going to listen and learn anything from what the other person said? A lot of women take what men tell them. Well, let me back that up. A lot of women do
Hmm.
not listen to what a man says.
True.
And that's a major problem because with men, we're going to tell you what's on our mind and what's in our hearts.
If we ask specifically.
And sometimes you don't even have to ask because the man's going to tell you what he likes. We're men, good men work hard. I listen to these women on these social media sites that they want a good man that make six figures. Well, you're delusional. I'm sorry. How many people you know
Yeah,
make six figures?
yeah,
I didn't even make six figures through 43 years in law enforcement.
yeah.
Well, I did, but I had to put in a lot of overtime. But I don't get it. These high profile actors and people that are influencing all these younger generations,
It's sad.
it's beyond sad. But as for the relationship, if you learn how to listen to your partner without interruption and actually put your whole heart into what they're saying, your relationship will last.
Okay, well, how do I get to that step up in the relationship? See, that's the step that I'm trying to get to.
Well, just like you and I having this talk right now.
And we have conversations, and we had a conversation about relationship, and I don't want to feel like I am pressuring someone to want something with me that they don't. I don't want it by default. I don't want it because I kept bringing it up and asking about it. I want someone to want that naturally, organically with me. You either do or you don't. We're both trying to figure out if we're the right person for long term, for life, but can we do that exclusively?
Well, ask him what is the problem? What's keeping us from advancing?
They don't feel like there's been enough time yet to know
Another person,
the
and that's
person.
that's fair. That's fair enough.
But how
Then
much time do you spend getting to know somebody? 6 months, a year? And this is dating. This is while you're able to see other people before you're in an exclusive one-on-one relationship
you
with them.
you will know because remember after my first marriage, I did what you call, and I don't mind sharing this. I did what you call rebound marriages because
Hmm.
I didn't want to be alone.
Hmm.
They didn't last.
How long did you know my mom before y'all got married?
How long? We were married 17
No,
years,
no.
but
But how long did y'all date before y'all got married?
not long.
Months? A year?
Probably a year.
Okay.
Not long at all.
But a year y'all were in a relationship. It was just you and her dating, just each other, not you and her. And
Yeah, because we were young. We didn't know really anything about it. We didn't know anything about anything.
okay, now your next marriage. How long do you?
You
That's
were
smile.
slick.
How long do you think you dated her? Wait, which one was the next one? I forget names. And you don't have to say names if you don't want to.
I'd rather not say
Okay,
names.
so the next one. How long did you date her before you
7. Oh, how long did I
date her before you married her?
Probably less than a year.
Okay, and how long were y'all married?
7 years.
Okay, and then the,
The
the
third
next one.
There were only 3, folks. Just that. We're stopping at 3. We're not going any
I
further
haven't made
than
it to
that.
3 yet, so hey, I got one more to go.
No, you got one more to go.
I got one more shot.
You good to go.
Okay, the third one.
Third one was 4 years, and the second and third one rebounds off initially the first one.
But how long did you date the one that lasted 4
Not
years?
long
before you
at
got
all.
married?
That was months.
So, in what you learned, and you dated at least a year or less for the 3 marriages. So, for 2 decades of your life spent with women, you spent 3 years dating these women collectively. If you dated them each a year prior to,
Yeah.
and roundabout, you spent
Yeah.
2 decades in marriages. Was spending a year dating them exclusively enough time?
Evidently not.
Regardless of how it ended or how things went.
I don't think a year was enough time. No, not at all. And there was a thing I saw on TikTok about this. These women, they want to go out on the first date and $400-500 dates. Y'all lost y'all's freaking minds.
That's a social media construct. That's not real women aren't like that. Real women who want to be in real loving relationships, who are looking for something with substance, for something of value, for something deep and meaningful, do not care what kind of date a man takes them on. Now, of course, you're not trying to, just walk down. Well, no, you actually might be okay with taking a walk in a park or something where you feel safe, but no woman is putting a price tag on it. It has to be this expensive. It has to cost this much. It has to drive this fast. It has to look like this if she's really looking for love in a relationship. That's a social media thing. So don't think that all women, especially single women, are out there calling. We're not.
I don't. But you get to that point in life where you're just afraid of dating altogether. And I think I've surpassed that point in life.
And I'm almost there, and I don't want to get there.
No, you're too young to get there. Me, on the other hand, I don't look at it the same way anymore. It's not really worth it because what I have now, I have pure peace of mind, and I love every moment of it.
Quit selling them on your pure peace of mind, Dad. None of the older men are going to be dating women, and then ours are going to be all sexual women mad at me.
It's leading to, look at all these things with Zoom to Thailand and passport bros and all that. Ladies, y'all need to wake up because this is a trend that's not going to end. I mean, it's been around before social media picked up as far as passport bros. That's been around for decades. I was back around in my area, but from what I'm seeing, it's really picking up people. Men especially have had enough.
Well, we already have slim pickings as it is, so it's
True.
getting harder.
They're going to get a lot slimmer.
And see, that's what I'm saying. And when you're dating someone and you like them and you know it's already slim pickings, you're kind of eager to say, or at least, okay, not you. I'm kind of eager to say, okay, this one, I want to claim this one
But that has to be a two-way street, though. It can't just be one way. I mean, we know. I mean, you know what you want. Mm-hmm. But you have to also continue to dig to find out what this other person wants. And when you start clicking, you're going to know if it's right or not.
Right. And if this other person is dating intentionally and wants that same goal, and we're both wanting to work towards that goal, they're just deciding if I'm that person that they want to work towards that goal with, how long do they get? Because I'm tired.
There's no time. There's no time
Wrong
limit.
Answer, Dad.
I'm sorry,
Wrong
but
answer.
There's no time limit on that because we have so many things that we can share on this as far as getting married and prenups rules and all this other nonsense that's thrown into the equation now. It's a living nightmare. So I'm not going to even go with the prenuptial and marriage because that's a totally different topic.
That's why I'm trying to find one last old school go round. I want one last old school true. I'm going to be in this. We are not getting divorced. We are going to work it. We are going to go to counseling. If you're mad, great. There's the couch for the night. If you can't be beside me, but you best be beside me. I've got one more, and I want it now.
Oh, that's another thing. Always be careful of the I's and the me's because that's just showing it's all about yourself.
Okay, well, we want it now.
Now, when we start saying we and us, then there's a chance.
Well, I can't say we because we aren't exclusive.
But you need to sit down and y'all need to communicate a little bit more. You need to talk it out without anyone around, without any disruptions. And even if you take a little walk to the park and just sit on a park bench and listen to the birds. I know all this sounds corny, but it worked in the past and it will continue to work. And learn and understand each other heartfully, then you have a chance. But if you start adding all this other nonsense to the equation, I want this, and you got to make 6 figures, you got to be 6'5", and you got to have a six pack and all that nonsense. Yeah, Kevin Samuel. A lot of women don't like to hear his name, but the guy, he may have been hilarious, but he told the truth.
Yes, he did.
As far as hitting that brick wall, because men they've woken up, and they're not taking the nonsense anymore.
The class of women has definitely changed. The demands from women have definitely changed, and from when I was younger dating, and I was 17, met my first husband at a very young age. We dated for 4 months. We were married for a decade. So I'm kind of a fast-paced walker. I don't really do the slow thing. I'm learning now. But how I was then versus how I see women now in that age, they're completely different. It's a different demographic on the demands and the wants and how they were raised. I saw a video last week, maybe the week before, of these little girls at a daycare singing a song that they shouldn't have been singing, dancing in ways that they shouldn't have been dancing. And there's a video because somebody thought it'd be funny and obviously it would go viral and get likes and views, but there's not a video of them telling the little girls don't do that.
Right.
It was okay because you knew it would get likes and you knew it would get views, and that superseded what was right for those children. Now, some people are like, oh, it's just music. I still, to this day, my son is almost 13 years old. I have not taken off I have the edited version of stuff on my phone still. He's 13. I know he knows all the words, but I got in that habit when my kids were young. I didn't want them hearing stuff in the car, so I made sure I had the edited version, the radio version of everything. I was mindful of what they were listening to when they were around me. And nowadays, it doesn't seem to work that way. It seems to be, if I like this, then it's okay for my kid to hear it. It's, it's just music. It's just this. It's just that. It's not going to influence them. And everything is influence them.
But everything. And I'm not just saying this because you're my daughter, but a parent as yourself is rare. Women and also men today, they have these kids, but they really not that concerned about what they do and what they listen to and their friends. That's why we were seeing. Well, that's another topic too. Well, there's so many. There's so many topics there. We could talk the rest of the day on this. Oh yeah, definitely, and bring.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, okay.
But either way, that'll be your guess regardless.
But once he sees this video, maybe he'll start thinking.
Y'all are 2 peas in a pod. Y'all are going to have your own little thing. Like I said, regardless of what happens, there's a reason that God has put me on the path that I've been on for the last 6 months, even with all the health issues and whatnot. I don't know the reason for the health stuff. I'm not rushing for that to be revealed, but I know that there's a reason why this person's life and my life and our lives intersected the way that they did, and that this person had already seen you and stuff and had already seen me. And, I had a video that went viral because it was Bella, and it was the little snapback video, and I knew it was going to go viral when I posted it. I edited it the way I edited it, because I wanted to see and I wanted to learn about TikTok at that time. Don't ask. Right. I wanted to learn about the algorithm. And I learned. I learned quite quickly, turn off notifications because when people want to, anyways. But there's a reason. So long-term, short-term, whatever, regardless of what happens between he and I, whether we do or don't, y'all are going to be a very long friendship.
Well, just send them out here, and he and I will do another podcast on the reversal of what you and I have talked about, and maybe we can come to a conclusion on a lot of different things. Yeah. Life is short, folks. I've seen too many of my fellow police officers I worked with, or I couldn't say the word, or they just pass away. But life is short, and we need to get a hold of ourselves and stop listening to so many negative influences out there. There are still a lot of good people out there, a lot of good women out there, and there's a lot of good men out there.
Send me one. I don't care how tall, how short. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you got
I'm
jokes.
kidding.
You got
I
jokes.
think
huh?
I really think I have one. I just, I got the patience of a gnat. I know that about myself, and
Have you ever-
God
have-
is working on that. But
Have you ever thought that he may be afraid?
I know he is. I know I absolutely
How many
scare
times has he
him.
been married?
Twice. We've both been married twice.
Okay, so both of y'all have a lot of y'all
Yes.
have negative past, negative baggage you bring
My
with you.
problem is I know that I am overly honest. I overshare.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can come off as too much. I realize that about myself because
Let me ask you this: the way you're talking to me, have you spoken with him like that?
oh yeah, we had a conversation earlier like
Okay.
this. So I'm aware of that, and I no longer try to deflect or defend. I'm able to sit and listen. Sometimes he does have to pause me because you're just so itching to get in, but he'll ask me, hey, Ma, please sit down and just let me finish. So I sit down and I listen and I actually digest and I let him know I absolutely agree with you on XYZ. I hear you. I am actively listening to what you're saying. But from my point of view, and there's the but,
It's always a but.
when you're being honest, when you're being forthcoming, when you're being truthful, when you are showing yourself as you will show up every day in a marriage, I am as I am. I don't hide if I'm clingy, if I'm messy, if I brush my teeth. I don't hide who I am. So you have seen me as truthful as I can be for the last however many months. You either know that you, yes, can mesh with this, or no, you cannot. It's not that difficult. And I know that you men know, but you keep us in this pattern because of your past fears, because of your hurts and your traumas. I'm not those hurts and traumas. So you might really believe that I am being truthful and whatnot, but I'm still paying for those mistakes. Even though you're healing past them and from them, you can't deny that I'm still getting the punishment from that. Because if you were still open and not hurt from that, if you were able to go to yourself before that, you would speed run with me the way you speed ran with them. But with them, it ended up being a mistake, so you got me on pause out of your fear.
Right.
So whereas my heart is saying jump, leap, I'm having to choke that back. As open as I know God wants me to be to leap without knowing it's going to be reciprocated, it's still terrifying.
Right.
Because I have to be able to recover from that, and I'm so tired of recovering. I want to just be able to love into somebody, to build into somebody, to build with somebody. I want to be able to sow into him, sow into us. I want to grow old. I want to be laughing on the porch, telling corny jokes. I want that happiness.
That's what we all would like. But anyhow, I'm gonna have to slow this down because we're going on and on. I'm looking at the time there.
Oh yeah.
And
You got to pause.
depending on how my followers, or if they like it, or if they want to follow me on old school discussions with Will, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave your comments and all that other good nonsense, and let us. It's not nonsense. I'm just joking with you guys.
It's got good stuff.
And we'll see what you think about it. And hopefully, my discussions are leading in a positive direction, because I just can't deal with all the nonsense I'm seeing. So this is Old Will and my daughter Jen.
They can follow me on social media too.
And what's your?
Princess Ebony, PRNCSSEBNI, but I'm not active, but they're still up. There's that video of Bella, and since then, which is awesome. I mean, I learned how social media works, but I
Okay.
don't want to be known as the dog lady.
Yeah, and as y'all will notice, I'm still learning this stuff here too. But
It's got lights.
s-
This is such a trip. It's so cute.
Hey, that's the way we always are.
Yeah.
You know, my family is a family of jokesters. But anyhow, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and all that other nonsense, and leave a comment and let me know what you think about this. And if it's positive or negative, hey, it's your opinion. I value your opinion, so we'll go at it from there.
We'll do more old school,
Discussions.
younger school.
Yeah, I think my daughter
Not
got me.
as old
I think my daughter got me started on something. 'Cause I really enjoy this more than I always have.
See how I steered you off of that feminism
Yeah, I
thing?
know, yeah, right. Okay.
It's a topic for discussion, but
But-
not while I'm asking about men
but-
and dating. It doesn't go together. But I can agree that where women are now and the direction and
But anyhow,
Yeah, okay.
we're gonna have to go, guys. Go. If not, we'll be talking the rest of the evening, you guys out there. So y'all see if you like it or not, and let us know about it. And this is old school Will and my daughter Jennifer, and we just want to say bye.
bye.